Welcome back to Wave Dalker State of the Orioles address. We're doing first series overreactions. Orioles are 2-2. They split the opening series in Toronto, opening 4-game set with the Blue Jays 2-2. Orioles are 2-2 now, heading back home for a 3-game set with the Red Sox. I'm here to do some overreactions, maybe some underreactions, maybe some, non-reactions. But, I just want to talk about this opening series. Last video was last Monday. So now we're doing this Monday. I'm recording this Sunday night, or actually early Monday morning, before I go to EP's, before I go to the home opener. So just want to get some thoughts off about this opening series. So, like, subscribe. So yeah, first game we win 12-2. I think we hit 6 home runs. What was it? Yeah, Adley had 2, Westbrook had 1, Mullins had 2, O'Neill had 1. Watched the first, I want to say, 4 or 5 innings in my History of Sport in America lecture, and man, it was a pretty fun time. Adley hit this first one, and I was like, dude, we're so friggin' back. I was so hyped. Getting that Adley lean back. Oh, I love it. I missed it. Wait, let's get it. Let's get a little freeze frame. Ah, I love it, dude. I love Adley Rutschman. 2025 MVP. Then that Tyler O'Neill home run extending his opening day home run streak. I thought that was pretty cool. This was just a great showing. Zach Eflin looked great. I felt he could have gone a little bit deeper, but first game of the season. Don't want to, test too much. I think he went 3 perfect frames. And then he walked Guerrero, and then Jimenez hit that 2-run home run, and then he went another 3, looking awesome. I love Zach Eflin. I thought he looked great. He doesn't walk batters. He throws strikes. He's a control freak. I like that. And I like Zach Eflin. And I felt everybody looked really great this day. That was a weird way of saying that sentence, but I was happy with this game. And what a way to, open the season. 6 home runs. Also some additional, manufactured runs in there. The introduction of the new extra base hit Selly, finally doing away with turning on the faucet and the sprinkler, and eventually we will see what the home run celebration will be. This is my bold prediction. Obviously last season we had the hydration station, we had the chain in 2022, and then 2023 was the Homer hose, the Dong Bong. That's the real name. And obviously we're doing away with that. The double celebration, bass fishing, and then they're doing wet willies for singles. I think the home run celebration, get this on tape, is they're going to be given a fishing vest and a fishing hat, like a bucket hat, and then a fake prop fish on a line, and they're going to pose for a picture. That's my bold Wave Docker Orioles home run celebration prediction made on the morning of their home opener. So just wait until Ryan O'Hearn home runs tomorrow, and you'll see. But yeah, so that was game 1. Great start. Felt really good. 14 hits. Offense looked nice. Pitching was great. Just a really great way to open the season. And then, of course, the next day, we lose 8-2. Charlie Morton did not look good. He got into some trouble early, but he was able to escape it. The Blue Jays don't score until the 4th, but their scoring in the 4th is the dam breaking. Morton ended up with, what were the totals at the end? Only 1 walk, but that 1 walk came with the bases loaded. 7 hits, 4 earned runs, only 3 strikeouts, 3 1/3 innings, and then Albert Suarez comes in. He gives up 2 runs, 1 earned, only strikes out 2. And then Cianel Perez comes in. He walks 2. He gives up 2 earned runs. Just a really ugly day from the pitching staff. Gregory Soto did have a good day. He also had a good game on Saturday. He's looked nice early in the season. But yeah, just not a good start for Morton, Suarez, and Perez. And then the offense did not look great. Obviously, Holiday led off the game in the 3rd with that lone home run of the game, opposite field. Pretty cool, showing that opposite field power from Holiday. He's looked really great so far. Really happy with what I've seen from him. Obviously, we saw the introduction of that toe tap late in the season as opposed to the knee raise, and those last few weeks he was hitting pretty well. He hit well in spring training, and I think he's had a hit in all 4 games so far. But I mean, look at this: opposite field power. This kid's only 20 years old. I am a Jackson Holiday truther. I'm not really, going out on a limb saying that, but I like Jackson Holiday. I think he profiles the best at his, peak of his powers, like at least what we're, expecting from him as my ideal leadoff guy for this team, as I've stated on this channel. I don't like Gunner leadoff. I'd rather, him slugging the way that he can with a Westberg, with a Holiday, with a Adley on base. I'd like to see him, in the 3-4 spot. But I think Holiday with his speed and, if he can keep up the way that he's been hitting, I think, once he gets in a groove and, becomes the player that he's anticipated to be, I think he'd be a great leadoff hitter. And he really was the lone bright spot of this game. Yeah, just kind of a very 2024 Orioles with pitching kind of crapping the bed and the offense not really bailing them out too well. Ugly game. Did not enjoy watching it. And then we win 9-5 on Saturday. The pattern kind of begins to repeat itself. Game 1, good offense, good pitching. We win. Game 2, bad offense, bad pitching, we lose. The inconsistencies are beginning to rear their ugly head early, and I'll continue to be the case in Game 4, but we're talking about Game 3, so let's not get ahead of myself. Dean Kramer started this game, got into some trouble early, gave up 4 early runs, but then he got settled, ended up going 5 1/3. Obviously, as I've made it known on this channel as well, I am a Dean Kramer fan, one of the bigger Dean Kramer fans. I love him. I think he's a gamer. He has good stuff. I don't know. I think he's just a very underappreciated arm for us. He's been around, and he pitches big games. And obviously, this is still early in the season, but I mean, if you watch the Orioles, you know that, Dean has to give up those early few to really get settled, and then he did just that. Obviously, he ended up giving up 5, but I thought he looked great. Like, I thought his stuff looked great. I was really happy with what we saw from my boy Dino. 6 strikeouts, struck out Santander twice. I thought his stuff was moving really great. And the broadcast liked him. Like Ben McDonald, Rob Long, Kevin Brown were all waxing poetic about Dean Kramer. I'm not worried at all about this. You know, he starts off 1-0 with an 8.44 ERA. It's first game. I'm not worried at all. I thought he looked great. I feel like you kind of have to treat. I mean, obviously, I'm bummed about us being 2-2, but I think you have to treat this opening series as like, spring training is like, what's like a goofy analogy I can use for this? I don't know. Like it's the first series. I think like the Braves are 0-4 right now. Are they gonna miss the playoffs? I don't think so. It's all building. These are whatever. But and maybe I'm just saying all this because I'm a Dean Kramer fan. Maybe I am. But Jordan Westbrook had 2 home runs in this game. O'Hearn looks nice. Roman Arias had 3 hits in this game. He's a guy. He's a pesky guy. I feel like whenever he's being doubted or whenever his seat is hot, he always performs. And so, if he can hit like this consistently, I think he's going to be a really nice. What is it? Probably 4th infielder on this depth chart, fully healthy. Like he's 4th or 5th, honestly. But yeah, I thought the bats looked pretty great. Cowser with the leadoff home run in the first, but he's only had I think he's only had 1 hit through 4 games. So obviously Gunner is on his way in, but I really just didn't understand the Cowser leadoff pick. Like I think there's kind of what's the phrase? The literature's out there, the whatever. There's truths out there that prove that there's better candidates for an impromptu leadoff guy than Cowser. But obviously it's still early, and maybe he'll turn the corner. But I just don't think Cowser profiles as a leadoff guy as much as Brandon Hyde seems to think he does. But yeah, I mean, this was a great game. And then after Kramer gets pulled, I think because who comes in? And I think Dominguez had an inning. Who was it? Shit, it was Soto, Cano, Dominguez all pitched, and then Batista. But was there somebody else? Aiken. Yeah, so Aiken comes in and closes the inning. Cano comes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. They all look great. No earned runs. Cano stuff looks freaking nasty. Batista 3 strikeouts in an inning. So awesome to see him back. Yeah. I mean, that was just awesome. And I hope when I go to the home opener it's a blowout. But if we can, have a nice cushy 3-run lead in the ninth, and we can see the lights flicker and the Omar whistle and see Batista come out in front of the home crowd, that would be fucking awesome. But yeah, I thought this was a great game. A lot of really great showings from a lot of great players. And like I said, I'm not worried about Dean Kramer. That's my guy. And you'll see. You'll all see. And then game 4, probably the ugliest of the 4. Just bad offense. Starting off. Because what was it? So Cowser and Rutschman got retired. And then Westy gets on. O'Hearn gets on. And then a wild pitch leads to O'Hearn scoring because he, ran his butt. No, Westy was sitting. What am I talking about? So, yeah. Cowser got out. Adley got out. O'Hearn singled. And then O'Neill singled. O'Hearn got to third. Wild pitch during the Mullins at-bat. O'Hearn scored, and that was the only run we scored all game. Not ideal. We out-hit the Blue Jays in this game, and we still lost. It was just a very frustrating game, especially that final Gary Sanchez at-bat. He worked the count, got it to 3-2, and then swung low and away. I was just like, man, what a waste of just a competent, aggressive, competitive at-bat. That was a cherry on top of a very frustrating offensive game. I really just hope that this game isn't the playbook for how the offense and the pitching is going to sync up all year. I hope that, obviously I don't want each game to be a slugfest. That was kind of how a lot of people kind of looked at this team being like, okay, well, the pitching isn't there, but the hitting is. But honestly, I think through 4 games, I think the pitching has been more impressive than the bats. I think Game 2 was very winnable. This game was very winnable. I think the pitching put us in a position to win, and the offense failed to show up. Eflin had a great start. Morton is like the lone poor start, I'd say. Kramer, like I said, had a great start, all things considered. The offense did show up, granted, but whatever. And then Sugano, I thought he had a great start. He had a rough first inning, as you can see, a lot of those 2 earned runs, but then he settled in. His stuff has some, wicked movement. He had some control issues early, but like I said, he got settled. Ended up with only 2 walks, only 4 hits through 4 innings. Got pulled with some discomfort. I hope that's not anything serious. But yeah, I mean, I just an ugly game. And like I said, it's only the first 4 games. This is, opening series overreactions. I'm not reacting rationally to this because I'm an Orioles fan. But yeah, I mean, 2-2 with 2 really great games and then 2 really frustrating games. There hasn't been... I mean, Game 2 was kind of rough. Like you saw, one of our big initial free agency signings kind of shit the bed. And then you saw just kind of pitching continue to do that, and then the offense dwindled and just did not show up. I think that's definitely... I mean, I don't know. Which one's more frustrating? This one or... I think Game 2 is more frustrating. No. I don't know. Both of these losses were equally frustrating. But I think for different reasons... I think Game 2 is more frustrating because the hitting and the pitching got on my nerves. The pitching in this game was great. And then Perez gave up his first home run since 2023 to, what was the guy's name? Heineman. His first home run since like 2019. That was just some weird baseball stuff. And like I said, that Gary Sanchez at bat was very frustrating. But yeah, I mean, 2 frustrating losses, 2 promising wins. Very funny stuff. But we got 3 games in Boston. Home opener. First home series. We got Povich, Eflin, Morton. I'm excited. I'm just excited to be back in the yard. Haven't been in the yard since, I think it was like game 3 of that Tiger series in August last year, or no, September. And that fucking sucked dick. But yeah, 2-2. Eflin with a win. Kramer with a win. Westy has 3 home runs. Adley has 2 home runs. Mullins has 2 home runs. O'Neill has a home run. Cowser has a home run. O'Hearn's been hitting really well. Some nitpicky stuff. Didn't really understand pinch hitting. Ramon Laureano for O'Hearn in today's game. Obviously, there's the righty-lefty there. Ramon Laureano hits lefties really well. But I just think with Westy down, or not down, but obviously, God forbid he's down. Jesus. But with Westy, with the healthy scratch game 3 or game 4, which is also like, what are you doing, Brendan Hyde? I didn't really understand. O'Hearn is like our second hottest hitter, and you're pinch hitting him. Didn't really understand that. I think Brandon Hyde kind of uses righty lefty as a crutch sometimes when he's desperate. Like he just tries to click buttons that don't really seem necessary. I did respect the Kerstad pinch hit. Gary Sanchez obviously gave a competitive at bat, but I don't know. I think this. I just, like I said, it's early. This is not supposed to be opening series rational reactions. But yeah, I mean that's really all I gotta say. I mean there's not much to go on. I think I said everything I wanted to say. I just hope that the offense bounces back, and I hope that the offense kind of develops a consistent. I want to see a consistent 3 games without being like. I mean, but like, there's not really much we can do. Like maybe we can, send Mateo down, bring Mayo up, but I don't know. Like I just think I want to see, and like I said, it's still early. This is not supposed to be rational reactions, but I'd like to see a good 3 games from the offense here against Boston, for me to keep me from ringing the alarm bell that nobody hears because I have no pull with this franchise at all. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad baseball's back. I'm just gonna cut it off there. These videos always are rants, but let's try to rein it a little bit. Only 4 games. Baseball's back. Adley Rutschman 2025 MVP. Cade Povich 2025 Cy Young. You heard it here first. Look out for that fishing celebration tomorrow. I'm telling you, that's what it's gonna be. They're gonna be posing for a picture with a fake fish in a fishing outfit after Ryan O'Hearn homers. Cade Povich 7 shutty. Boom. That's all I gotta say. Like, subscribe. Go O's. Peace out.